like um the live streams. I know that you can schedule them, but I am not sure if like you can schedule a Zoom live streams on YouTube in advance. But
Okay.
all I can say,
Whatever that.
Nick, is that I think that once we get on Spotify, like more than one episode, that I think that lots and lots of people will find out about us.
I hope
And
so. I hope. I mean,
I
that's the goal of it. That's the
well, I
goal of
mean,
putting
I
it
don't
on
know if
there.
that's really the goal, because I mean, if
Well,
maybe I want it to be hard for people to find me. Like if
no.
I
Well, then, I mean, you're trying to make an impression on an audience, and if the audience can't find you, doesn't that contradict what the larger objective is?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay.
All I can say, Nick, is that it's time for
Opening
the
credits.
opening music, and
Let's
then
do it.
I I can certainly like find a place for you to hide under a rock if you ever change your mind, Nick. So,
About what?
well, about wanting people to be able to find you easily.
Oh, all right. Okay. We can
All
talk
right.
about that some other time.
Yep, the struggle is real, Nick.
Yes, it is.
What a time to be alive.
What a time.
Welcome to Funniest Part of My Name, a podcast about math and Korean culture, with a side of humor. For information about our podcast, please visit www.johnoaks.com.
And now here are your hosts, 프로페서 승찬 and Nick. 하하하.
Now, you know what, Nick? What I should do is actually like play some of the outtakes for the listeners from the voiceover that you did a few
Oh,
weeks
you
ago.
should. You should. I don't know if I'm ready for it, but if you want to do it, then do it.
But you know what I think I might do instead is release some of those outtakes as a special Spotify only episode, like
Okay.
to encourage some of the listeners to listen to us on Spotify as a special gift. Once the Spotify issues are fixed and more than one episode is on Spotify, that will be the special Spotify only episode. And I think that people will enjoy the probably 15 to 20 minutes of laughs. And
Go for it.
it's definitely funnier than your joke of the week every week, Nick. At least I think that it is.
It probably, well, I mean, based on your reaction to it, it has to be.
I mean, all I can say, Nick, is I don't want to give too much away, but I think that I got through more words of the 100 most commonly used words in English than you did.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you were probably studying that ahead of time, and it was a little bit of a setup, but
Well, I mean,
at face value,
you're
you're like, you have like your whole trivia thing.
Well, Nick, I'm not even sure that there's anything you could have done to prepare for this week's trivia.
I doubt it.
But we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
So let's start with this story about math, Nick, and I think that you'll enjoy this. So do you know what prime and composite numbers are, Nick?
I know what prime numbers are. I'm trying to remember what a composite number is.
Well, they're numbers that aren't prime.
Oh, okay. It's okay. That's what I was thinking. It was just just the opposite. Okay.
Yeah. So mathematicians find a new class of digitally delicate primes. So this is an article that I found in Quanta magazine this week, and digitally delicate primes are prime numbers where you can change any single digit and the new number is composite. There are an infinite number of them in every number system, and widely digitally delicate numbers are prime numbers with an infinite string of leading zeros, where if you change one of those infinite zeros, it would become composite. So what do you think about this, Nick? Like, do you find numbers like this to be interesting, or do you think that there just isn't really any really reason that anyone would want to challenge themselves by thinking about properties of different numbers like this?
I don't know if this particular situation is worthy of everybody's attention or effort, but I mean, I have a little bit of a personal interest in numbers because of what my career is and what my academic history has been and how my mind is largely wired. But I think some exposure into the field is good for people because it gets those individuals to think a little more quantitatively, which we do, almost everybody does on a daily basis, whether you realize it or not. Now, whether this prime and composite number topic is one of the more critical ones for people to cover, I think that's more debatable, but I think the concept, the high level concept, I think has some merit.
Well, all I can say is that I never really have like number puzzles. The Sudoku, like, like I hate that, and
Hate that?
I mean, why would I like it? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, do you know where it comes from, Nick?
What do you mean? Where?
Like, yeah, where it it actually, like, where it was created?
Like geographically?
Like, who created it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, so I think that if I recall that it all like started, like the modern day Sudoku like started by somewhere um in in the United States somewhere, but there've been, of course, number puzzles, for years and years and years, and people do like those types of things. But like I said, it's
But
never.
Sudoku is not really an, I mean, yeah, I know it uses numbers, but it's not, it doesn't really use any math skills. I mean, instead of having numbers 1 through 9, you could have like, you could have 9 different shapes or 9 different colors,
Yeah,
and it
but
would be the same.
you could, though, have a computer solve any Sudoku problem if you like program the computer correctly. So there
Right.
is, yeah, so there is some mathematics of Sudoku classes out there that
Yeah.
I think are pretty exciting. I mean, like I said, I personally don't like that branch of mathematics, but here's one that I think that might be a little bit more interesting than talking about just number theory, Nick.
Okay.
So this was in Popular Mechanics this week, and the headline was, "The math of a crumpled piece of paper is insanely important. No, seriously." And mathematicians at Harvard recently discovered paper crumples in some surprisingly predictable patterns. And when you crumple the paper, creases appear to relieve stress in the sheet. So what the Harvard researchers did is they crumpled one sheet of paper up to 70 times. And then they realized that although the sheet of paper never actually stops forming new creases, it does so at a logarithmic rate. So that just means that with more and more crimples, there are fewer and fewer creases. So what this all means is in a real life application that would be, I guess, more relevant to everyone is that in the design of wearable devices like smartwatches, then what the designers need to do or the engineers need to do is to come up with smaller and smaller batteries to keep shrinking down the overall size of the wearable device like the smartwatch. So what are your thoughts about this, Nick, from either the mathematics standpoint or the design standpoint or the engineering standpoint of the idea that as something is crumpled up and made smaller and smaller and smaller, it's going to have fewer and fewer new folds or creases or collapses in the media.
I don't understand the correlation to electronics and their batteries.
So some of the other applications of the folding would be observing the macroscopic folding of the Earth's crust or the microscopic crimping of graphene membranes used in high performance batteries. So really that's the idea is that if you're taking something like really, really small and you are needing to fold it over and over and over to make it smaller and smaller, then what you're doing is, in essence, like by scrunching up the battery into a smaller place, what you're trying to do is create more surface area for the electrochemical reactions of the electrochemical reactions to occur, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. Okay.
So what are your thoughts now, Nick?
There is a limiting factor with how small you can make a battery as to whether it's going to have the energy capacity to serve whatever need you're intending it to. You can keep I mean, it's there has to be a certain battery life that's expected in any given device. And as you keep decreasing the size of the battery without changing the battery cell structure or the chemistry or the management of it, you are going to reach some threshold where you have the dimensions you want, but you no longer have the functionality lifespan you demand or expect from that battery. Is that what is that logarithmic curve, is as you continue to decrease size that it's going to fall off at?
Right, yes, because there will be fewer and fewer new creases that will be made
Okay.
as you make it smaller and smaller. And so at some point, there's that limit to the amount of surface area that can be added.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. And without changing the inherent efficiency of the battery or the battery material,
Well,
you're kind of just you're giving and taking, and whatever that happy median is, if you don't find it, then you're either giving too much or you're taking too much.
so what is one, like on a different note, Nick, what would be one wearable device that you would wear if it were a real invention that you think would maybe be beneficial to you in your everyday life?
Wearable. So something that does not exist, but if it did, I would likely use it daily.
Right.
Good question. Maybe I don't know, a more advanced version of those sweat patches you gave me.
Well, maybe. I mean, I know that I was thinking something along that line might be good for you, Nick. But maybe how about something that would maybe be golf related, Nick?
I mean, I have my GPS watch that largely covers that.
Well, you know what I would like, Nick, is a a device I could wear. Now, it would have to be very, very small, so I wouldn't even feel it anywhere, and like something that I would like maybe even stick on me, or honestly, you know what? Like I think it would be cool if you could get a tattoo, and underneath the tattoo would be like a built-in watch, and you're underneath the tattoo or something like that.
That sounds gross.
Well, I'm not talking about a chip being implanted in me or anything like that, but like something that is like between the skin and the tattoo.
So the tattoo ink is moving around in my skin.
Well, no, not your skin, mine, because this is my idea. Nick.
Okay,
Like
all
if,
right,
if I get
sure.
it, then I'm not like I'm not gonna let anyone else have this uh high technology that I've created for myself.
So it's not going to be a stagnant tattoo. It's actually going to be mobile somehow.
Yeah, why not?
That sounds so unhealthy.
Well, you know what, Nick? That's okay.
What if it decided to move up to your face and you'd have some kind of weird mark in the center of your forehead?
Well, I don't think that would ever happen.
Well, who controls its movement?
Well, you know what, Nick? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that it is time for our first commercial break of
All
the
right,
show, Nick. What a time to be alive.
let's do it.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
Now, you know what, Nick? Unfortunately, our guest for today can't, but
It's all
that's
right.
okay
It's all right. We can
because
still have fun.
I have some great trivia for you anyway, Nick.
Oh, good. I'm sure even though there's no competition, I'll still somehow lose.
Well, all right, Nick. I'll make you a deal this week
All right.
for every answer that you get right today. I'll actually buy you the treat.
What is the treat?
So,
It better not be half used gum
no,
or something else.
no,
A
this will
chapstick.
this will be all brand new stuff, Nick.
Oh,
And
good. All right. That's
the
progress.
only catch is that the
Of
only
course, there's a
requirement,
catch.
well, that you will have to eat it all in one uh, sitting, all within a 2 hour period.
And what if I don't?
Well, then you'll have to drink 5 bottles of soju or something like that.
Did you notice I'm sipping a little soju tonight?
Well, you know what, Nick? All I have, I can say that I have a cheese stick in front of me. So
Okay. So what is that the prize? Cheese sticks?
no, of course not.
So what's the prize then?
Well, let's get to the trivia, and then
I don't want to start this without knowing what the reward is.
Well, you'll find out, Nick. It will be
When?
fine. So
I feel like it's gonna be super easy now. So you're gonna have me get like 10 of them right, and then I'm gonna find out that the prize is like the prize is gonna be 150 wings from Wild Wings.
no,
You
it's
know I
nothing
don't
like that.
you know I don't like going there.
No, so yesterday was Easter, right, Nick?
I did know that.
So not everyone celebrates Easter, but I don't think that you really need to.
Oh, are you trying to give me eggs because you know I can't eat them?
Well, no, not quite, Nick.
I don't
So
like
what
Peeps either.
No, this is going to be the like a Easter trivia, Nick, but it is trivia about each state's favorite Easter treat. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you a state, and if you get their favorite Easter treat correct, then I will give you, I'll buy you that state's favorite treat.
What what comprises a treat?
Well, the whatever the state's favorite treat is.
But when you say a treat, does that mean like some kind of type of candy or some type of goodie as opposed
Anything that
to
might
like
be,
regular food that one might eat in this state on Easter?
well, no, just something that is what you would consider, I'd say, um,
Well, so to me, like, okay, ham is a very popular Easter food provision, but if you told me ham is an Easter treat, I don't. I think the word treat doesn't really fit the ham. It's an Easter food for sure, but I don't know about a treat. Now, if you told me like Reese's Pieces peanut butter eggs, okay, that's a treat.
yeah, I like something that you would associate with, I guess, Easter, but not Easter dinner.
Okay, all right, so more like a snack.
More like snacks or candies or
Yeah,
no.
yeah, like supplementary food.
Yeah. So
All
if
right.
you
Wait. What's the quantity? What's the if I get one right, what's the quantity of whatever it is that you're
oh,
giving me?
one,
Just one.
right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Because it's not like I want to give you like 50 of something, like,
I
because
feel like you
because
do because you know I'm not going to be able to eat 50 of whatever it is, and then you're going to try to force me to drink the 5 bottles of soju, which is what you do to me anyways.
oh, well, that's okay, Nick. So
Is
let's
it?
go with the first state here, Nick. So the first state, and I'm using a random US state generator in
Oh,
order
okay.
to figure out these states. So the
Okay.
first state is Maine. So what do you
Maine.
think Maine would say is their favorite Easter treat?
Maine. God, Reese's Pieces eggs.
No, Maine went with Peeps.
Peeps. Actually, I was gonna say Peeps, but I'm glad I did not get that right because I don't want any Peeps. You can keep all of the Peeps the hell away from me.
All right, Nick, how about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. Okay, this has to be something dairy related. Milk chocolate bunnies.
Wisconsin went with boiled eggs.
Okay, good. So I can't eat that either. So the first one I don't want to eat because I don't like them. The second one I can't eat. Okay, this is all right.
All right,
This
how
is working
about
out.
Maryland?
I hope it's crab cakes, but I don't think it is.
Maryland also went with boiled eggs.
Okay, good. Boiled, you said?
Boiled.
Okay, good. I can't eat those. So, all right.
How about Georgia?
Georgia. Peach cobbler because I want peach cobbler.
For Easter? No, jelly beans.
Oh, all right. I mean,
I would have gotten you some peach cobbler flavored jelly beans, but
I wouldn't go for that.
You got the question wrong, Nick. So,
okay, well, all right.
None of that.
Okay.
How about, let's see, Montana? Now, I hope you get this one right, Nick, because this would be a great prize to have.
Butter lambs.
What? Cadbury cream eggs.
I can take and leave them. That I'm not really too upset that I didn't get that right.
Well, all right. How
They're all
about
right. I could eat like maybe one and then maybe half of one and then I'm all set.
Alabama?
Alabama. I think Alabama is probably Peeps also.
No, they went chocolate bunnies.
Oh, all right.
So close, Nick.
Yeah.
How about Florida?
Florida. Florida, I feel is jelly beans.
Caramel eggs, Nick.
Ooh,
So close.
I wanted that. Oh, I love caramel. Damn it.
All right,
That would have been a good one.
let's go with Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I feel is Peeps. I don't want them, but I feel like it is.
So close. White chocolate eggs.
Ooh, I love white chocolate. Oh man.
Yep. So close. Let's see. How about Missouri?
Missouri. Chocolate bunnies.
Well, no. So close. Missouri is Starburst jelly beans.
That's pretty specific.
Well, I mean, it's Missouri, so what can I say?
Yeah, but like whatever, I think it was Georgia. You said it was just jelly beans by themselves. But Missouri is Starburst brand jelly beans. How was I supposed to get that? Now I have to say brands for things.
Well, I mean, what can I say?
I mean, I understand like the Cadbury cream egg because like that is the gold standard for that. But there's a ton of different jelly bean manufacturers. I feel like that's a little too specific to have required the brand on the jelly beans. I mean, other than like Jelly Belly, who the hell knows what any of them are?
That's okay, Nick. All right, so before we move on, I of course want you to guess what you think New York is. So what do you think for New York?
Oh,
Nick?
New York. Okay, I should probably know this because I grew up there. If it's, I'm not really a huge fan of this, but sponge candy.
No, Kinder Easter eggs.
Kinder Easter eggs.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Then again, a very specific brand also.
I feel like this is. I mean, no, I don't feel. I know this is rigged, but
No, it's not
whatever.
rigged. All right. How about Michigan?
Michigan, I feel is Peeps.
Nope. Sweet tart jelly beans.
Sweet tart. This is okay. This is getting ridiculous now. Everything has a brand. This is so skewed.
So this list said that the states that actually stood out are New York is the only state that favors the Kinder Easter eggs. Wyoming is the only one that favors mini eggs, and Michigan is the only one that prefers the sweet tart jelly beans. So actually, those are the three states that stand out from the rest.
Okay.
So unfortunately, Nick, you won nothing again.
All right. Well, honestly, none of those would have been that exciting of a prize to me because I'm not really that big of a candy eater, not much of a chocolate eater. The Peeps keep those away from me. The eggs I can't have, so keep those away. I don't feel too deprived.
You know what, Nick? I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself here.
Oh, great.
So I am going to give you some additional Easter trivia. And if you get at least 5 in a row correct, I will buy you any Easter candy of your choice.
Are you actually going to ask me at least 5?
Well,
or are you going to ask me 4 and then keep the requirement the same?
We'll find out, Nick.
So wait, what's the prize again?
Any Easter candy of your choice.
Can we sub in a spiral ham? This is a small one. I don't need a big, just a little.
Sure,
like
Nick, why not?
3-pound one or something like that.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
So
a Detroit honey baked, ideally.
Okay, why not?
I mean, we're in Detroit, so I feel you have to go with honey baked.
The Dearborn brand ham.
The Dearborn brand. What is that?
Yeah, Dearborn brand ham. Everyone loves Dearborn brand ham.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So now question number 1, Nick. Easter always falls between which 2 dates? Because, like Easter is always on a Sunday, but a different day every year.
Yeah. So you're asking like the day of a month up to a day of a month?
Yeah, like March 1st to April 31st. And actually,
Okay.
Nick, I'll give you that hint that the dates are the beginning date of the range is always in March, and the ending range of the dates is always in April.
Are you sure it's
Yes, but
always
I'm looking
April?
for the exact dates.
I thought it can be in May.
Well, Nick, that means that you already got this one wrong. So this would be between March 22nd and April 25th.
Okay.
What a time to be alive, Nick.
Yeah.
So now, about how many chocolate bunnies are produced each year?
Worldwide or
Just how many are produced each year, Nick?
okay. And a chocolate bunny could be anything from like a little small bite-sized one all the way up to the
like the
ridiculous
50-pounder.
Sure. Yeah, the ridiculous ones that just should not be ever made because people don't need that much chocolate.
Yep.
How many per year you said?
How many per year?
$125 million.
90 million. You went over, so like
Okay.
and this is like the price is right, Nick. Like if you go over, you bust.
So what if I said 70 million?
I would have probably let you make a higher guess.
Oh. All right.
Yep. All right, Nick.
Changing the rules as we go.
So the first Easter eggs were dyed what color?
Lavender.
Red. So close, Nick. I'm colorblind and I even knew that. So now, Nick.
I don't think color blindness has anything to do with your ability to read off the internet.
I mean, that's okay, Nick. So how much did the world's largest chocolate Easter egg weigh?
Chocolate's pretty dense. 400 pounds.
All right, I'll give you a second chance, and it's definitely higher than that.
600 pounds.
So close. 15,873 pounds and 4.48 ounces.
15,000 pounds? What?
Well, nice try, Nick. So here's the next one. What was the circumference of the world's largest chocolate Easter egg?
All right. So it doesn't necessarily mean the egg that was the heaviest is also the largest in circumference. Oh.
Yep, I think it probably is the same egg though, but
yes, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
But it could be.
My guess is it probably is. All
Yep.
right, circumference 50 feet.
So close. Well, I'll give you a second guess since it's higher than that.
65 feet.
That's over. So you're wrong. Let's see, 64 feet, 3.65 inches, Nick. All right, nice try.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that you'll get this one right, Nick. How many jelly beans do Americans consume each Easter?
Okay, so this is Americans only at Easter. No. Does that mean on Easter Day or all throughout Lent or
Just each Easter, like Easter season, I guess.
is this by like number of jelly beans or by weight? What's the
Number of
unit?
jelly beans.
Number of jelly beans by American. Okay.
Yep.
3 billion.
That's not even close. It's 16 million.
16 million. What the hell?
I
people
have
eat
no
way
idea.
more than that.
So I have two more before the break, Nick. So if you get them both right, I'll still give you the prize.
Oh,
So
thank you. Your generosity is just
households spend how much on average each Easter?
you said households?
Yeah. So how much does every household spend on average annually on Easter? Like just on the holiday decorations or the
Yeah,
meal
decorations,
or
the meal, the
Easter
the
baskets,
treats, the
yep.
baskets, the pictures with the Easter bunny at the mall. Per household. Okay.
Yep, I like to know what you think about this. I mean,
$800.
what? Who's spending that much on Easter?
feel
It's
a lot of people-
$131, Nick.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay. All right. I thought people were more gluttonous than that. Okay. That has me
So
feeling a little
then,
more faithful or having a
Yeah,
little more faith in
exactly.
society. Okay.
so when was the first White House Easter egg roll?
The hell's the Easter egg roll?
Like the rolling of the Easter eggs on the White House lawn.
Oh. So you're looking for a year, obviously.
Yes. I'll even give you a hint, Nick.
Okay.
It was under the administration of Rutherford B. Hayes.
I suppose I should have been paying attention more in our first episode, which was on
Yeah,
President's
exactly.
Day. I was not. Did not suspect that knowledge would resurface.
Well, like I want to give you some sort of an advantage, Nick.
All right, Rutherford Hayes was the administration.
Yes.
1878.
Well, you know what? You got that one correct, but you
What?
did not get 5 in a row right.
Did I
you
really get
no
that right?
prize. Yep, that was correct, Nick.
1878.
1878.
Oh, come on. That
Well, you know what,
I
Nick?
feel like you have to give me a little something
All
for getting
right,
that
Nick.
one right.
What I'll do then is I'll buy you a ham slider from Arby's.
Okay. All right.
right.
I'm good with that.
Yep. All right. So you want a ham, Nick? That's what you get. So
Okay. I'm cool
a
with
ham slider from Arby's. What a
Perfect.
time to be alive.
that. What a time.
And now it's time for our next break. And then after that, we will come back. And you know what that means, Nick? It is time for the latest news from Korea.
All right. Let's do it.
What a time to be alive.
What a time.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
So, you know what, Nick? There's a lot of interesting news coming out of Korea this week, but this article that I saw earlier just came out about like less than like 18 hours ago, and it says that LG is going to shut down its loss-making smartphone division, and it says
It's
drop-
it's what smartphone?
yeah,
division?
like the LG has, of course, never been profitable in the phone division, and so
Okay.
they've always been taking a loss.
All right.
And so the headline says that dropping out of the fiercely competitive smartphone market will let it focus on growth areas such as smart homes and electric vehicle parts. So
Okay.
what are your thoughts about the story? Have you ever been a fan of LG, and are there any LG products that you would think that LG might want to maybe focus on now that they are not going to be making phones anymore?
Sure. I'm not totally surprised by that news that they're pulling out of the phone market. You don't really see anybody with an LG phone. It's either an Apple or a Samsung. I think that's probably what 90% of at least the cell phones in America that I tend to see. So I'm not totally surprised by that. And if they are in fact taking an insurmountable loss, and it seems like good business direction to do that. LG product wise, my television is an LG. I've had it for a handful of years now. It's been a great purchase. I've been pleased with it. It's done everything I've hoped it would do, but when I bought it, I absolutely would buy another one in the future.
So I actually think that you're right about the LG phones. And so what would you say are the top 5 cell phone or smartphone company makers in the world, Nick?
So the manufacturers,
Right.
okay, Apple and Samsung for sure. Motorola.
No, not Motorola, but
Really?
Samsung was number 1, and the most recent data is from the third quarter of last year, but
Okay, close enough.
Samsung is 22.7% worldwide market share.
Okay.
Apple is 11.8%, and that was in 4th place.
That was only 4th. Okay. Does Siemens still make phones?
No, they might, but that wasn't one of the top 5. The top 5 were Huawei. I think this is a Chinese company that, and it's a company that does well in mainly India and China. But
Okay, I was gonna say they're different parts of the world.
Xiaomi, and 5th place was Vivo. So
okay,
I would say that then all others combined were 29%, but LG, I would say it has never had much market share.
yeah, I agree.
But
Seems like a wise move.
I will say though that they have been the 3rd largest manufacturer of smartphones in the United States, but worldwide they've always had trouble. Like, you have to be big in India and China probably in
Sure.
order to get that worldwide market share. So
Yeah, it
you're
makes
right.
sense.
I don't blame them for getting out of it, but
Yeah,
I do know that a lot of phones actually have went away over the years, like the Windows phones.
that's right. Windows Phone.
So
I had an Ericsson phone as my
um,
first phone back in the day, whatever, 20 years ago.
my first one was some weird track phone. So it probably some brand I don't even want to even know about, but it's still
That's
in my
probably
basement.
right. Oh, really? Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at that the next time.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
over.
I think it's pretty nice to have all of that history over the years. There's a couple of phones that I've lost to various tragedies over the years, but I think that it's nice to keep that. But like it's one that has like a pull out antenna and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
I had
why
my fair
not?
share of those back in the day.
So now, how about this article here, Nick? Oh boy, the struggle is real because my scrolling
Oh,
is not what it should be. So
is your
you
finger
know
still
what?
bothering you? Is that why?
Actually, the one finger is fine now, but I actually somehow cut myself during one of my classes I was teaching tonight, and then I'm using this weird band-aid that I think is meant to like simulate like real skin rather than being like one of those fabric
Okay.
bandages, but I don't really like the feeling of it as much as I thought I might. I thought that it was maybe a nice idea at first, but now it just kind of I don't know. I like the the feeling of an old school band-aid.
It's fair.
So these articles like that I'm going to ask you something about next, Nick, are articles that I I see all the time about things that are like travel travel in nature. Like I sent you an article about Busan like a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah, I enjoyed
and
that.
so this one is everything you need to know before your first trip to Seoul.
Okay.
Should you leave a tip? Drink the tap water, stay in the touristy neighborhoods. It says, we got you.
All right.
So now I I'm just going to like ask you some trivia, I guess, in a way, Nick.
Trivia again.
Well, of just maybe your opinions about certain parts of these tips for visiting Seoul for the first time.
Is there a
So
prize attached to this?
you know what, Nick, when we go to Korea together, then I will take you to your first authentic Korean barbecue on the house.
And if I don't get these right, then you're not taking
No,
me.
no, if you don't get them right, I'm going to take you to get porridge.
So
So,
essentially, I should prepare myself to get porridge.
well, I mean, like I think that Koreans don't really have very many like traditional like breakfast foods and so porridge shops are a breakfast staple in a way,
All right.
besides the rise of like Burger King breakfast
No, I'm not going to Burger King.
or or like what the Tom and Tom's or
I don't need to go over there and get food that I can get a half mile down the street.
well, you know what, Nick, I personally do like the Burger King in Korea better than here because it's not as greasy. But that's just my
All
opinion.
right, I'll be the judge of that.
So now, what do you think is the best time of year to visit Seoul?
By what, like the month of the
The
season?
season.
I feel like the spring is the time to go.
Yeah, this article says spring or fall. It says that like spring is about April or June, or fall September to October. And it does have about the same winter climate as here
Right.
in the where we're at in the US, but I would say by that account, I wouldn't really necessarily agree with the fact that winter is as frigid as this particular article makes it out to be, because I've been in Seoul in December and it was just
not-
fine.
It's not that cold.
It wasn't any colder than it was in Michigan that time of year.
I feel it's colder here in the middle of winter than it is there in the middle of winter.
Yeah, so it was actually a little bit colder. And I would say that if you go in the summer or the winter, though, I'd say those are the time of the year where you need to wear the mask like the most for the dust, like
Oh,
yeah. So if you go in the spring or the fall, I think that you're less at risk to have to wear a mask for dust reasons. So
Okay.
that probably is a reason to go then.
Okay.
So now, would you say that this article said uh, walking or renting a car or public transportation was the best way to get around Seoul?
I feel it's public transportation, a big metro area like that. I feel it's a little too expansive for walking to be all that practical, at least unless you're just, there's a specific little area that you're just gonna be pretty reserved to staying. And renting a car, at least as an American, I feel it's an overseas country that has probably some different driving laws and driving tendencies and practices that probably make it a little dangerous if you're not familiar with that, if you're going to be operating your own car. So I feel like public transportation, and then, granted, I don't know anything about how good the public transportation system is there, but I'm going with that.
Well, I think that you're right, Nick, and I don't necessarily agree with the article's reasoning. It said that walking isn't usually the best choice because there's no sense of directionality, and pedestrians are pushy, motorcyclists are not concerned about your safety, and the sidewalks are really just extra parking spaces for cars.
That sounds like every
And
big city.
well, yeah, but I really do think that they are right that there are usually no rules walking around on the sidewalk in Seoul, but from
Oh,
my own experience. But
that sounds like
I
New York City. So
yeah, but I mean it's worse, I guess, in Seoul because like Koreans, like in a rainstorm, like everyone's umbrella will go up on the side of the street at the same time, and then it's like poking you in the eye pretty much. And I've never experienced that in New York City. At least they would, they use more ponchos in New York City.
okay.
So that's my viewpoint on it. And I will say though that the article, I would agree with the fact that you should buy a T Money card and load it up at a 7-Eleven or a CU convenience store. And it says, they're claiming it's about $1.05 a ride. So
Oh,
I
all right.
would agree with that. So
Okay.
the rest of the article covers hotel accommodations or the best neighborhoods to check out in Seoul, and how to pick up on the local fashion cues, some restaurant etiquette, and some of the basic things that you would like to know about Seoul, maybe for going for the first time. But like I said, Nick, I like articles like this once in a while that are just maybe a little bit more like light-hearted in nature, and where I know that I have to take everything in the article with a grain of salt because it's more of an opinion article than hard
Oh,
news.
okay. Yeah. Well, isn't hard news largely opinionated too?
Well, I mean, it
At least in this
depends
day and
on
age.
whose opinion that you're asking, right?
Yeah, but regardless, I feel like the hard news is largely opinion anyways. I mean, it's
Well,
they tell you in the first paragraph like what it is that is being discussed in the rest of the article, but then the rest of the article is just completely subjective, which I get, but it doesn't
yeah.
change the fact that I feel like it often or usually is.
Well, like the things that the article ended with are that drinking in public is legal in Seoul, which
Okay.
of course, like I'm one of the people who have experience like drinking in front of a 7-Eleven in Seoul at like 3 or 4 in the
Oh yeah.
morning, and
Yep. I've
and
heard about
so
that.
like that's like I think that's accurate. Like stocking up on water bottles. I like I don't agree with the reason thing because it says that like you should stock up on water bottles because the tap water is not safe. But I really think that what it was for me is when I was in any restaurant or public space in Seoul, that the cups of water that are given aren't like what I would be used to have enough water to quench my thirst, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
So having that extra water bottle there is probably a good idea. And then this
Okay.
one, the last tip though, what do you think the last tip out of the entire article is about, Nick?
I don't know.
Yeah, no guess at
Uh,
all, Nick,
uh,
of what you think that, or out of like everything that you might personally want to know about going somewhere anywhere for the
okay.
first time, like what would you say would be the tip that you would save for last for people to know about?
How to stay safe and how to keep out of harm's way.
Nope, that wasn't it,
That's
Nick. It
not it.
was remembering that you'll need to carry your own trash because there aren't a lot of public trash bins because
Oh,
you have to sort your food waste and recycling and your like actual trash into different piles, the compostable and non-compostable, so that you can take it out to the right spot behind wherever you're staying.
okay. All right.
So
That's a good tip to know.
yeah, but I think that they missed one thing because they gave a tip of like some of the words that you should know when you go to Seoul. But the one word that I wish somebody would have told me the first time I went to Seoul, like before I went, was how to say bag, so that I would have known how to ask for a trash bag when I needed a trash bag to put my trash in.
Oh, where do you ask for that?
Well, I mean, like I didn't even know the word to ask for a bag.
Yeah, but if you did, where do you go to ask for one?
Oh, well, you have to buy the trash bags like behind the counter at the local, like usually like 7-Elevens or things like that have it. And every like district in Seoul has their own like trash bags that you have to buy them and make sure that your district's like label is on the bag so that like people like the government can track like who is wasting too much stuff and
Oh,
maybe not recycling what they're supposed to and that type of thing.
oh, okay. So their refuse policy is
Very strict.
okay. I mean,
Yep. So guess what, Nick? we have one last quick break, and
All right.
then it is time for your.
Hey, did I win? Did I do well enough right now that you are going to take me for K barbecue when we go?
Well, you know what, Nick? No, but I won't subject you to the porridge either.
Well, I
So-
mean, I want to try the porridge. I don't completely deprive me of it. I want to at least
All
give it a
right,
whirl
yeah,
to see if
so
it's
so
good.
I'll take you for porridge, Nick.
All right.
All right, what a time to be alive.
What a
So
time.
after the last break here, it will be time for your final joke of the show, Nick.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
Thank you for listening to Funny is Part of My Name. We'll be back with more right after this break.
Well, you know what, Nick? I think there may have been some technical glitches there, but
I
that's
caught it.
okay. So now
Struggle is real.
the struggle is real, but I do want to say that I want to, as I promised before the show on social media, to read out people's guesses of how many bags of beef jerky is it acceptable for you to buy yourself.
How many guesses did we get?
So let's see. So how many guesses did we get? We got a grand total of one guess.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better than none. All right. And what did
Well,
this person guess?
Is it really better than none?
Yeah.
So and I'll give our guesser a shout out. So Kiva _link on Instagram guessed as much as he weighs.
That's how many bags? It's a lot of bags of beef jerky. I mean, I'm not against that. That's just a lot. All right. I mean, if someone wants to drop that off sometime, I'm cool with it.
Well, no, like it's the amount that you're supposed to buy for yourself, Nick.
Oh, well, I better
Hey,
take
you're
out
the
a
one who
small.
wrote this joke.
Well, you didn't exactly tell me how you were going to use this homework I did a couple weeks ago. You just
Well,
said for me to do it. You didn't in any way explain how it was
Well,
being utilized.
that's okay.
I guess
So-
it is.
Nick, what is your final joke of the show?
All right. John, did you ever hear about the concert that only cost 45 cents?
So I'll have to tell you, Nick, that I don't think I've heard of that.
Do you know who performed at it?
So it would probably 50 cent.
50 Cent and Nickelback.
Well, you know what, Nick, I don't think that people really ever appreciate a good Nickelback joke, and so I don't think that people probably really appreciated your joke this week, but that's okay.
John, don't transpose your feelings on everybody else. Let the audience be their own judge.
Well, Nick, that I guess that's fair enough. So
Yes, it's not what you say all the time. All right. That's not how this works.
well, no, that's completely understandable, but what is not understandable is your joke, because I don't think it was that funny.
Okay, well,
Like,
that's your prerogative.
Like 50 Cent plus Nickelback. Let's see, is that really, like, if you think about it, Nick? I don't think that's that's how it works, because if you think about it, that 50 Cent is one person and Nickelback is four people. So then that doesn't actually translate into 45 cents, because each of the four people will be giving a nickel back, right?
Not necessarily. Could just be one nickel from the whole group. because they are sort of a contiguous unit.
I'm not sure that's how it works, but
Okay, well, you can
until
call them
next
up
week,
and ask.
everyone, what a time to be alive, and
What a time to be
and
alive. The struggle is
stay-
real.
stay classy, everyone.
Oh, that's a new one from you.
You've been listening to Funny is Part of My Name. Please visit www.johnoaks.com for resources and recordings from past episodes. And don't forget to join us back here next Monday for an all-new episode.